Anyway, let's talk about it, family, on why early Christmas uh in early America, and not just early in its beginning stages, it was more like Halloween. That's why we talked about these witches, like Frau Percher and Gryla. You see what I'm saying? Krampus. You even got one in Italy. What was her name? La Befana, another witch. The witch was the dominant icon of this period of what we call the winter season that y'all not talking about. That the Santa Claus that y'all know today is primarily a new addition. You understand what I'm saying? A commercial addition to this new Christmas in America where it's about economics. They trying to turn this into an economic powerhouse. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, so they know they can't, have the witch and all of that, and it's about Jesus and all of this. And so, many of the winter icons, and you had Father Christmas coming out of England, Britain, and then you had this other wild looking guy named Bell Nickel. He was a ragged, dirty looking, but he was more the one that would whoop the children. A lot of them earlier icons, like, and even Santa Claus, he didn't necessarily, and I seen Santa Claus with a switch himself. He had a switch. They would walk all these earlier icons before Santa Claus. They walked around with the witch. I mean, the switch and the witch. You see what I'm saying? You see, they walked around with the switch. And so they would whoop the bad children. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about the whoopings that, these earlier icons would give the children. So in the earlier Europe and even America before the Santa Claus era, kids was petrified of winter. They were petrified of these what they call the Christmas season, because this was the time that these demonic entities would come out of their lair, come looking for the bad kids or who they thought was the bad kids. So, they was in fright, they were in fright of this period.